2026 is the year that we start an online film club. Now, if you're new to me, my name is Savannah. I have a background working behind the scenes in film and television, as well as higher degrees in studying storytelling, film, and English. And I'm somebody who's very passionate about storytelling. Over the last year, I felt this draw to slow down with how I'm consuming content, to consume more intentionally, to be really aware of just the ways in which we are world building and the elements that go back to the roots of everything that I love about storytelling, all of the behind the scenes stuff, everything that it takes to create what you're getting to see on your screens. We've gotten so much of an increase in quantity over the last 6 years that finding the quality and understanding those deeper elements is something that I'm really passionate about. And I know that a lot of other people feel the same as me. This year I want to do something a little bit different, and that is why I've created this YouTube page, specifically to expand upon that love for film, to bring you maybe some elements from behind the scenes. Hopefully I can rope some film friends into it. I did a podcast a couple of years ago and started it, but maybe we'll find a new aspect of doing that with videos on this page. But really what I want this to be about is there's so many movies that have been on my watch list for years, or things that I want to watch, but the community in which you get to talk about it and which everybody gets to kind of throw their ideas and how they're experiencing these things is the thing that I miss most about not being constantly in the film bubble, not being with all of my friends who are making things and working behind the scenes, but also just the disconnect of being all over the world or really wanting to find somebody who has the same interests as me. And there's also the time element. We can't always do the same things at the exact same time. So it's nice to take the pressure off a little bit to be able to do this when you have a little bit more brain space or when it feels right for you to watch this specific movie. So here's how I'm thinking we'll do this. It will be a very pajama themed channel. You will expect very casual energy here. My thoughts for how I want to rotate the categories. A movie that come out recently. This is one of the things that I want to do as far as making sure that I'm staying in a routine of seeing things in theaters. There's stuff that I know that I won't necessarily need to see on a bigger screen, but I feel like it's important to continue to support that aspect of stuff. And I also just think that there's an experience that you get when you are required to sit in totality with a story. I know that I've watched so much content at home over the last few years, whether or not that's creating social media content, whether or not that's watching TV and movies in my own kind of routine. I know that there are times in which I'm allowing myself to take myself out of the story, where I can pause it and wonder how much is left and really kind of take myself out of the uncertainty of what's happening. And I think making sure that you're seeing things on screen is really important because there's an emotional aspect to that experience that we really need to keep alive for it. The second thing is going to be a movie that you've always wanted to see. And this list could be recent, this list could be decades old, all of the above. There are tons of movies on this list for me. Some of these are currently listed: The Way We Were, Steel Magnolias, Runaway Bride, Sleepless in Seattle, You Got Mail, Death Becomes Her While You Were Sleeping. I have seen some of these movies, but not all of them. I do want to pick movies that are in that list of stuff that I've always wanted to see, but I know that I want to be able to talk about it. I want to have that conversation around it. So that is our second category. Our third category is a movie that you know that you should see, but you've been avoiding. There's a lot when it comes to film history of things that have had really strong influences, but they're not necessarily something I would reach for because they're very uncomfortable for me. They're things that just don't really suit how I enjoy storytelling, but they're good to watch, they're good to expand you, they're good to experience so that you're aware of what's happening, how things have developed, other people's techniques when it comes to storytelling. It just makes you a more articulate consumer, a more articulate artist, and it also helps to make sure that you're not living in constant comfortability when it comes to stories, because we need to be able to see outside of ourselves. And then our last category of the month will be whatever sounds fun to me. I really want us to take the time to watch a movie that we've maybe seen 100 times before and to look for new ways and elements that we didn't realize were happening when it comes to storytelling. The more I've watched things shot for shot over the last year, the more I've thought about what was in the script and how did that translate on screen, and what are the things that we're really overlooking that we don't realize are actually so important and really a big part of the storytelling, but we just don't know how to see it. It escapes us really easily. I feel like when you've watched a movie before, you've watched a movie a bunch of times, when you come back to that and you start thinking about it more slowly, what's the character development? How did we allow these characters to grow? What were we telling without everybody realizing that we were telling it very subtly within the context of telling the story? There's so much that just gives you a deeper appreciation for who's making it, how they're doing it, all of the elements that create this craft that is so appreciated and yet almost underappreciated these days. And I think that we can do a lot of this together just by having our weekly little film chats. Now, because this is a new channel, I think it's going to take a minute for me to have all of the features on it. So I don't have the community tab yet. I'm not sure what all we'll have to play with. I want this to be less about short content and more about these kind of conversational pieces. So we'll have a structure to all of our vlogs, all of the things that we're creating. And it just allows you to have the opportunity to go deeper in it. But I want to be able to let us pick what movie we're watching every week, and I can go in and do the research and kind of dig into things and bring that context to it, stuff that we wouldn't know that we needed to appreciate about these films specifically. Until we have more capabilities on this channel, I might do a piece of short content every week to help us decide what we want to pick. So make sure you're subscribed to that so you can see it. If you're watching via TV or desktop, you will see me pop up in the short section and you'll see the little title on the screen to know that we are choosing it. And that way you have the option of going in the comments and liking whichever one you pick. And it's a little less required of you, but it keeps it all contained and easily accessible for everybody who might want to come along and do this. Now, because we are starting this channel at the beginning of 2026, I'm going to try to focus the next couple of weeks on some of the ones that I think are either going to be Oscar contenders. We have Golden Globes in a week, so whatever's in the list of nominees there, we'll try to work through those for the next 2 months so that we have a good grounding of an idea of what's coming, and then we'll slowly filter in more of the older films and other things that feel like they're perfectly timed for this. But I really just think this is a fun way to do something that I've always loved, but I've never really found that kind of online community with. I love that the BookTok girlies had their space, and I definitely will be doing a deeper dive on like classic novels this year, but the film education, the understanding of the bigger concepts of how these stories are told, the things that we don't appreciate because we don't know to appreciate them. I think that this is going to be such a fun way for us to do this. I'm excited to do this together. I hope you're excited to join me. Subscribe if that sounds great for you. Let me know in the comments below what movies have been on your list for ages, and if there's one that's the most popular, maybe it's coming out this year, it's come out recently, let's talk about it and we will put it on the list. But welcome to our little corner of the internet. I love you guys. It is a good day to have a good day, and I will see you all in a new video very soon. Bye, guys.